Is there evidence for divine command theory? Have you ever wondered where our sense of right and wrong comes from? Today, we will look at divine command theory and whether there is any evidence to support it. Divine command theory, often shortened to DCT, suggests that what is morally right is determined by God's commands. If God commands an action, it is right. If God forbids it, it is wrong. This theory connects morality directly to divine authority, making obedience to God's will the foundation of ethical behavior. When we talk about evidence for divine command theory, it is essential to differentiate between empirical evidence and philosophical reasoning. There is no scientific proof that can confirm divine command theory. This is because it deals with metaphysical claims about the origins of morality, which cannot be tested like a scientific hypothesis. Instead, the support for this theory often comes from religious faith, sacred texts, and philosophical arguments. Philosophers who back divine command theory argue that for moral values and duties to be objective, they need a foundation beyond human opinion. They claim that only a divine being can provide this grounding. For instance, some argue that without God, moral obligations would be subjective and lack ultimate authority. Additionally, they believe that God's nature as all good ensures that divine commands are inherently good. However, divine command theory is not without its challenges. One major critique is the Euthyphro Dilemma. This dilemma asks whether something is good because God commands it, or if God commands it because it is good. This raises important questions about whether morality is arbitrary, depending solely on God's will, or if it exists independently of God. Critics also point out that, if morality is entirely based on God's commands, then moral goodness could change if God were to change those commands. This idea conflicts with the belief in stable moral truths. Moreover, divine command theory can clash with the concept of moral autonomy, which suggests that individuals should think for themselves about right and wrong instead of just following commands. In diverse societies with various religious beliefs, divine command theory can create problems. Different religions may claim conflicting divine commands, leading to confusion about what is morally right. Additionally, some philosophers argue that this theory implies that those who do not know God or follow different religious teachings cannot be moral, which seems unreasonable. On the other hand, natural law theory, associated with thinkers like Thomas Aquinas, bases morality on human nature and reason rather than divine commands. It suggests that moral principles can be discovered through rational thought about human purposes and flourishing. Many find this approach more accessible and universal. From the perspective of ethics and morality, divine command theory offers a clear foundation for believers who accept God's existence and authority. It provides motivation for moral behavior through the promise of divine rewards and punishments. However, its reliance on faith and the criticisms it faces mean that it is not universally accepted as the ultimate explanation of morality. In practical terms, divine command theory influences how many religious individuals and communities determine ethical behavior. They often refer to sacred texts and religious leaders to understand God's commands. This theory shapes moral education, legal systems in some regions, and personal decision-making for believers. In summary, while there is no empirical evidence that definitively supports divine command theory, it remains a significant ethical framework within religious contexts. Its support relies on theological belief and philosophical reasoning, making it a topic of ongoing debate regarding its coherence and applicability in diverse moral situations.